Guys, literally just yesterday, I posted a video and an article discussing the fact that these tariffs were finally beginning to cause impacts on not just the pricing, but the actual availability of some electronics. We'll look at my article from yesterday here very briefly. OnePlus just had to increase the price of their Watch 3 from $329 up to $499. That price increase was seen only for customers in the United States for obvious reasons. We've also seen hardware OEMs like Framework and Razer just stop selling certain items in the United States. Now, Framework straight up said it's because of the tariffs. I don't know if Razer has given that explicit reason or not, but given the circumstances, I think we can all make some pretty strong maybe assumptions as to what the cause is. But literally breaking news. Right now, we've got some relief coming. Reading here from CBS News, the Trump administration has exempted smartphones, computers, and other electronics from its punishing reciprocal tariffs, lessening the cost impact on American consumers for a host of popular high-end products. This is absolutely fantastic news. After seeing this tweet from Eric Mijakovsky back a few days ago, I was genuinely concerned for some of these companies' ability to survive this. He's trying to bring back Pebble watches, and of course they're manufacturing in China. That base model watch launches at $149. With a 145% tariff, who knows what that thing could have actually ended up costing. It was 104% there, but it actually went up from that. So back to the CBS News article. They are exempting smartphones, computers, and other electronics from these tariffs. So theoretically, that's just not going to be a problem for a while. Just to give a little bit more detail here, reading from the BBC website, U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has exempted smartphones and computers from reciprocal tariffs, including the 125% levies imposed on Chinese imports. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol published a notice late Friday explaining the goods will be excluded from Trump's 10% global tariff on most countries and the much larger Chinese import tax. So that is what we're talking about. They are now currently just not being hit by these global 10% tariffs or China's 125% tariff. I think I said 145 earlier. Hard to keep track of exactly where we are. Why does this matter? Well, I've talked about it a little bit already, but you can see right here that some estimates suggested iPhone prices and other electronics goods. I love how iPhone is always like in its own category. It's so important that it's like iPhones and other electronics, which could be laptops, Samsung phones, Google phones, everything else, Apple, and also everything else. Those things in the U.S. could have gone up by 3 times if the cost of tariffs had been passed on to consumers. Counterpoint research says as much as 80% of Apple's iPhones intended for U.S. sale are made in China, with the remaining 20% being made in India. I guess maybe India had a 10% tariff. I would just be guessing, but 125 for China and then something less than that for India. So those prices would have been going up a lot. Now, one thing that it's worth kind of understanding here is that this could be temporary. It is, I think, quite likely that sometime in the coming days, weeks, or months, we have a specific tariff rate reinstituted for these electronic devices, probably per country and per type of thing. I think what we're seeing here is that we're trying to bring the temperature of the room down maybe just a little bit. It may also be that people like Mr. Tim Apple and some other big tech CEOs might have been leaning on Trump a little bit and saying, hey, buddy, remember that money that we gave you? Could you not destroy our business, please? Could you not make us raise our prices like crazy? I don't know. Hard to say exactly what's going on with all this, but I will say that as far as I'm concerned, this is good news. So I'm not going to dig any deeper in this video because like I said in that last video yesterday, I am not an economist. I am not an expert on tariffs. So I tried to avoid saying anything that wasn't fairly explicitly stated in one of these 2 articles, which I will be putting links to in the description down below. My best understanding is the fear that was sort of, being expressed in yesterday's video and yesterday's article, that can at least I think, be kicked down the road at least a little bit further. I do have concerns about what happens later, but for now, this should be good news if you're looking to buy a device. I do feel bad for people who have recently imported a phone or something like that and just recently paid a $350 tariff to import that phone. And now if they had ordered it today, they probably wouldn't have to pay that tariff. I guess they definitely wouldn't have to pay that tariff. That's a bit of a bummer for those people. They bought in the wrong window right there. That was the wrong time to buy, but it is what it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to help support the channel in a more direct way and help make me a little bit less dependent upon ad revenue, click that join button down below to get early access to some video content. Subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.